Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Welcome to our presentation for the Speaking for Formal Setting course. Today, we will present a chapter from Reading Machine toward an algorithmic criticism by Stephen Ramsey. First, let me introduce our team. My name is Riatin as moderator and the third presenter.
And I'm Heliza. And I'm Erza Marzia.
Hi, my name is Heliza. So, I will explain about absolute what is critical reading. Chapter 3 explain that reading is not always fixed or absolute. Literary criticism can change text through interpretation and transformation. Ramsey introduced the idea of difference. Computer can help critics discover hidden meanings and patterns. Reading becomes an active and creative process. So, I will explain the concept of potential readings. Potential readings means that text can have different meaning depending on how readers interpret it. Reading is not always fixed because its readers might have a different perspective. According to Ramsey, readers can explore new meanings through interpretation and a mirror calls difference, which change the way a text is viewed. Computer can also help critics find patterns and connections in text that might not be easily seen. Reading is an active process that allows readers to create different interpretations of text. Next, for the slide 2, the concept of deferment. What is deferment? Deferment means changing or reshaping a text to see it different. For example, rearranging words, removing sentence, repeating phrase, and changing structure. The purpose is not distorting meaning, but to create new interpretation. Deferment helps readers notice patterns they normally ignore. Now, I would like to explain deferment. Deferment is a method of changing or reshaping a text to see it from a new perspective. For example, readers can rearrange words, repeat phrases, or change the structure of a text. The goal is not to change the original meaning, but to discover new ideas, patterns, and interpretation. In conclusion, deferment helps readers understand a text more deeply and creatively. Thank you.
In this slide, I will explain the role of computer in literary analysis. Okay, computer can process a large amount of text much faster than humans. Because of this ability, they help researchers analyze literary works more efficiently. Algorithms can identify various elements in a text such as a repeated word, writing patterns, themes, and stylistic difference. This pattern may be difficult to notice through traditional reading alone. However, digital tools are not meant to replace human critics. Instead, they support human interpretation by providing useful data and insight. And as a result, technology is expand the possibilities of literary studies and allows researchers to explore text from new perspective. Okay, next I would like to discuss a reading as transformation. According to Ramsey, every interpretation changes the way we understand a text. This means that a reading is not a simple receiving. Information it is also a process of creating meaning. Uh, mm, when critics analyze text, they focus on certain details, while sometimes ignoring others. Because of this, different readers may produce different interpretation of the same word. Ramsay argues that all criticism is already a form of transformation. Every act of interpretation reshapes the text in some way. An algorithm criticism makes this process more visible and systematic by using computational method to examine text. Therefore, mm, reading become both an analytical and a creative activity, helping us discover now new meaning and perspective. Uh, Thank you. Have listened my explain about my our ebook. Dadah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm in Riatin as the third presenter. Will discuss about my part material of this book. Now, I would like to explain the importance of pattern recognition in literary studies. Literary meaning often comes from patterns that appear throughout a text. These patterns may not be immediately visible when we read manually. However, computers can help us discover them more efficiently. For example, computers can identify word frequency, show relationship between characters, and reveal structural similarities within a literary book. By finding this pattern, reader can develop deeper discussion and interpretation of the text. The purpose of pattern recognition is not to find one correct answer. Instead, it helps us gain a richer and more comprehensive understanding of literature from different perspectives. Now, I will move to the conclusion of chapter 3. In this chapter, Stephen Ramsay connects literary criticism with computational methods. He argues that technology can support interpretation in creative and meaningful ways. Ramsay also introduced the idea that the formative and algorithmic reading methods can open new perspectives for understanding literary text. This approach is an important part of digital humanities, a field that combines human imagination with machine analysis. However, even with the support of technology, literary criticism remains interpretative, subjective, and dynamic. Computers can assist us in finding patterns, but human readers still play the central role in giving meaning to the text. Maybe that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.